Okay, everyone, this is a big subject for this video because Mr. Pledger was a star throughout all 5 years of my channel. This was the actual word by word they said, literally, how he was my mentor, how he was one of my favorite mentors. How I got over him continuously to this day, all the way to the point where I'm page. This is all of Mr. Pledger's advice. Okay, so this starts off, we're not, 8th grade, but the actual 7th grade when I was actually workout knowledge, where he complimented me when I, stayed by storyline, detail by detail about the eggs, how they had a tournament to get the eggs. That means you're going to work hard to achieve a goal. And later on, where it came to things like, Dominique, other, people coming into play, especially girls. It wasn't girls and shit, it was the fact that Eris was a nerd. And see, one thing I knew about, Eris when it came to Mr. Pledger and help is that he was a savant. Literally, I speak in the third person because, I went through a gangster phase, but actually, he knew that the life that he was working wasn't worth it. He knew that, literally, when somebody slaps a butt along, this and that, literally, he's going to be influenced, and his anime is not going to be strong enough to fight it. But, another part of that is, he has intuition, so don't think that Mr. Pledger is that gangster. He double implies everything, literally. That means he recognizes the voices are in his comic book. He recognizes that he's working hard. In fact, one of the days he threatened, to throw my comic book in the trash because of how hard I work. He's like, I need you to work hard in school more than your book, literally. And that's what, the defining lies, because what I was I was a fight student. In fact, one of the criticisms we gave when I was breezing through the package, literally, while I went from, addition to division all the way, to basically geometry, when we were getting the algebra, it's like, yeah, you did faster than everybody in the class, but did you do something more quality? And he compared it to a whole bunch of, under chairs. He's like, because all of my education is retaining information, literally, instead of reason through information. I was one of the biggest quotes of my grandma, Lily. I used to, go off topic, Lily, but I used to have, perfect structure, Lily. I used to talk about, molesters, this and that, Lily. Oh, at least it can't get worse, Lily, this and that, Lily. It used to be a perfect fucking structure, Lily. And my grandma would be like, man, this stuff is off topic. You can't, be this and that, Lily. And Mr. Pledger, Lily, would use this as an example, to people like David. And be like, look at Eris's essay. It's neat. It's this and that. Dumbasses will cause the effect, double imply, yeah, there's tons of more lessons. The world is revolved around the well, especially junior high. You're fucking tripping, especially they teachers one himself. This is true. The reason why I make this video is because Mr. Pledger is a very straight person, and the gang relies on his in-between in order, to fool society in order to get by. So what happened directly, literally, is to recognize that I had an addiction for something, but I was also, passionate, and where it came to, actually smoking, he was one of the main influencers, but there's something beyond being a main influencer. Mr. Pledger was one of the biggest influences in my life, really. In fact, all the way to a point when I imitated his move with the Platinum Girls. But let me tell you something, even better. It's like, give up, Eris. You're not gonna, escape proof person. You're not gonna escape people calling you a pussy. This, and that. And what happened was, actually, I fought very hard to stop smoking, really. I wasn't, I was a big anime fan. I was actually high off life and later on. Literally, when I went to a revelation, literally, when you see something clearly when you're sober versus when you're high, literally is when I gave up on white people on cops because they put me in a situation where I need weed medically. The man downstairs bid needs to fucking need weed medically, so it doesn't matter. What happened was I fought Courtney when they wanted to influence me to smoke, literally, all the way to the point they burnt me with cigarettes. I was a very, hard anime fan, but, literally, it took very hard. I wasn't smoking into a freshman. They've been smoking in front of me, literally, ever since I was in 7th grade. Literally, I just tried it. It was like a little kid, literally. It's just a little piece of, a Blackwood. Literally, I just tried it, like, hey, yeah, because they're a pickup, I was trying to look cool. The reason why people always beat their brother is because a drug is above them. Autism is a form of retardation, and people will take it lightly. Anyway, with Mr. Pledger, literally, where it comes along, really kicked in is when he started to get, girls with style, literally, and, before he did the whole, joke with the breast assist thing, you have to understand that, I wasn't trying too hard to fit in at 7th grade. In fact, I made, a vow to myself to make an example for people in 8th grade, but then hormones kicked in, and how I found porn was, an actual interesting thing. I was actually a clean child. I used to look up, facts about SpongeBob on Wikipedia. I used to, stay away from that. I used to be a believer all the way, but what happened was I started off with images of porn, like literally magazines, this and that, and then led to whole porn, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm gonna flat out say it. The advice starts literally when I, try too hard to fit in, a little bit. Literally, that he corrects me, saying that, yo, literally, if you do your work, if you stay by yourself, literally, you gotta stand out anyway. And then on, to further conversations with me looking good with a guy like Paris, saying that, yo, literally, your life is so bad. I don't know where you're driving to the side, asking for advice. Every time I see you on lunchtime, you're having a blast. Let me tell you something about Mr. Pledger. Mr. Pledger, literally, is not a square. Literally, he's been past, 3 gangster faces. And let me tell you, do you know that he's secretly better than Joey? Rapping, literally, he went through a whole phase. They recognized it, literally. When you do this shit like the arrow, when you have a concrete flow instead of, playing off of girls, establish it like me, literally, that it comes from being retarded because you have to go backwards, literally. That's the thing about, Alberto Timothy together, why I got big on YouTube. I recognized that they were actually looking up facts about rap, literally, and I was just flowing top of the dome. So Mr. Pedro be his mother, Lily. He connected it to a garbage can. He did everything, Lily. He was in a rap battle before. He was in a same, convalescent home in San Leandro. Literally, fucking, happily, externally, in 8th grade was, the homework problem, didn't kick in, until a while. He could tell that I have a social problem. I stood up to somebody like Ryan saying, "Oh, Lily, if you want that, then be a shoe savant." And you can tell that I was ignoring his swagger, but even further down the line, Lily, when it got to the homework problem was when I was in drama. And drama is a very big thing. And he was the first one to tell me, Lily, when we had that melee problem, he's like, "Why do you think that we hire special ed kids for electives first? Because they don't give that much homework, this, and that." And let me tell you, literally, Mr. Pedro is in the between, a bad special ed teacher and a good one. Literally, he is average. I'm telling you, literally, flat out, he is average because he doesn't feel the recruiting, literally, but what he gives, is advanced advice based off being. That means if you're stuck in a hood, he has advanced being, but not overall, which is why I aim for celebrity beyond the school. And the reason why I don't want to be a special ed teacher is because they get clowned on. Literally, these kids fucking beat them. Literally, fucking they insult them. Literally, they fucking call them little dick behind their backs, this, and that. Literally, I don't want to be one because they get punked, literally. And what he does, literally, is he puts on for the good with people instead of, the snobbish celebrity people like me. What happened was, my first, warning where it came to sexual harassment was, Robin. Back when I was, reading, literally what I would do was, literally, I would take the book, literally, I'll take my elbow, I'll try, touch her boob, and Robin and Lena invited me to her party, by the way. I was doing this, and that, and Mrs. T, oh my god, literally, Chris and Mrs. T have so much in common, it isn't even funny. Literally, it seems like 3 little girls, literally, and I grew up to make fun of her, having big T's, but still, it's a big towards this video, because when it came to, save me down, literally, after all those fucking talks, literally, Mr. Pledger and Kubiak was all like, "You're a horn dog," just with some pleasure, but in reality, flat out called me literally the thing that's not a corn, but literally the horn, the thing that you put in the fucking microwave with Christopher. It was like, you just try to cop a feel like everywhere, shape, and form. So Mr. Pleasure is, a good teacher. He is, a legendary, a teacher. In fact, most of the Bay Area rappers, that I ended up working with for a future, literally had to work with Joey. Because, Crypto, Andre Nicotina on the local area, all that shit. This is a great teacher on the Zara, Lily, and then her girl problem really got the hand while I started doing woodshop where there was a girl who was named Vanessa, Lily, just like Vanessa, Lily, that was light-skinned, Lily. She was looking in the air, this, that, Lily, and I was, trying to sit next to her, and Lily, Mr. Olsen was like, "Pick your seat," so I literally picked the seat that Lily was right next to the girl. Lily, he's like, "I see you, going back and forth with the girl a lot, Lily. Let's stop. You want to be real for this video? Because I'm telling you, Lily, the reason why I'm a better special ed teacher is because I recognize that special ed kids are talented. I put emphasis, on their talent, Lily, not, to give them a sugarcoat, but to give them an actual realization. Because what a special ed teacher's job to do is to fucking push a sex role. And you know what? The good thing about pushing a sex role is why they're able to lie. It's why they're able to do this, and that. They want to force you not to resort to something street smart. What I do is I raise the subconscious, Lily. That's why I'm so good about taking care of Zach in school. Because, Lily, I tell him the good and the bad, not just the bad, Lily. Because what ends up happening, Lily, is that Mr. Pleasure ends up, getting into a gang. You don't understand where, big black people like Rashad, Lily, reference the hood and correct him, saying a white angle isn't going to be all the way. So Mr. Pletcher double implies that. So before I go any further, Lily, when he gives me advice on America, which is the turmoil, Lily, where he calls out, Lily, my education where it comes to standard, Lily, where it comes to reading someone's emotion, Lily, where it comes to my own series, Lily, about, making sure things don't personally expand, in order for a gang not to be after errors, Lily. He's not expecting you to rely on the breasts. He's literally expecting you, literally, to crumble. Why you're staying in school so long is a recurring, thing for a special ed teacher. They have way more complaining. It's required to have way more complaining, literally, when you're a teacher, literally, and when you're a parent. Let's get to American. Lily, the abuse starts off, Lily, we're being singing Run This Town, Lily, the year comes out, Lily, where I had, a really good, dance side with perspective, Lily, and Mr. Pedro was there, Lily, 2 push the sexual, Lily, if you know the whole system, but Lily, in actuality, Lily, he was giving me the 401 to stay away from people, Lily, so it got down to the top between, me and, Kenneth Tran, but even beyond that, he knew the thing was to come from being gay, Lily, but also, Lily, he's the type of person, Lily, to drive somebody, in therapy, saying, like, ever since, doing good at school, yeah, he's also fucking a lot of girls. I I try, sing the song in front of Mr. Pledger, literally, he nods his head, he doesn't respond. But he's doing that in order to protect me for a gang. You see, literally, I'm not short-sighted, I know everything. Literally, so when freshman comes along, literally, after 8th grade, after, you learn from everything, after, the breathlessness did happen with Mr. Kubiak, literally, he gives me the benefit of the doubt. Literally, the first year, literally, he was cool. Literally, so when I got, done, smoking with Isaiah, literally, he was like, literally, because my freshman was way better than his. Literally, everything in high school is way better than his. In fact, people, are making theories that literally at junior year, while I'm supposed to get kicked out, literally, he's going to be his ultimate Gohan. I'm not supposed to stay. That's what I'm saying. Mr. Pledger is double implying literally with the voices. He's double implying with the two bubbers. He's double implying 24/7. He's trying to get you kicked out of school. So that was the thing. It was sophomore year. Sophomore year, I didn't smoke at all. Literally, I started doing a whole good. That's why I started wearing Converse, and Converse is an amendment. It's an entire story that means you need a girlfriend. Literally, in fact, some of part about you wearing Converse is that it's against the law. Literally, so when it gets down to it, literally, that's what the lesson, literally, with being good is a beneficial. Therefore, his lesson is a beneficial. That's why I learned how to pound. No matter how much you want to inflict this lesson, literally, my biggest revelation, especially at Fanmade, was I learned for something hands-on. So let's get to junior year where I started complaining about girls the most. Literally, he drove me to his side. Literally said, your girl problem really got out of hand. I already know I made a decision, literally, when I was older. When I was still working with him, he was doing things like, literally, back when I was playing Storm 2, saying, I can't get enough of that game. Well, when it comes to the game, we gotta get Poe. So now let's get to the pinnacle part of this video. Let it come to you, Lily. So it happened, Lily, because what he did, Lily, was he responded, Lily, because when it came to her drawings, Lily, he connected to the standard instantly. That's where I come at you at, Lily. When he ignored Ginny, when he ignored standard with Ginny, Lily, drew those fucking comics, doing that thing should be full anime style, Lily. It caused something came from Mr. Pledger, especially when I told him why I beat my brother, Lily. He double implied that it was a low being. He's like, man, grow up, stop being a little kid, man. You can't do the same thing forever. The same thing when I try to get off campus, Lily. Go off the campus like a little kid, Lily. This and that, Lily. He did all that shit. Where it came down to it, literally, he mixed your fro lobe and he double implied with you complaining to your family, literally, when they literally saw a whole bunch of ugly girls, literally, saying Omar's name, Omar, all over again. Literally, I drove to the side after there was a slut named Angie in class. It looks like the bitch from Droners. It's like, Mr. Pledger, Angie is hitting on me. Literally, Mr. Pledger says, yeah, but I see a whole lot of you flirting back. You see how Omar has a lot of girlfriends this year? Literally, no, where you track that? Literally, since you ignorant people, don't want accept it. Literally, he flat out said that mid I asked him, he's like, Omar has a lot of girlfriends this year. You see how you're eager. You see how Lily Omar stays back, Lily, and plays hard to get, Lily. And let me tell you, Lily, this is everything I know about Omar. Lily, he's more of a nerd. He's more of a kid. That's why he was able to get girls based off a simple principle. It wasn't just a freshman thing, Lily. It was a true thing that Lily, he saw the outside, Lily. This is another thing, that I'm gonna double enforce this video. That is what Let It Come to You is. Now let's get to a gang member's point since you want to cut me off this video, Lily. Where it comes to Let It Come to You, they know it has something to do with the police. In fact, they know that it's some more, referencing your freshman, referencing the government, literally referencing your success. They know it's a phase of prison. A gang is not going to be fooled by Let It Come to You because of the outside. Literally, it's when you say the right things at the right time, Lily, and then somebody gets friends out over, Lily, but not saying anything at all. But where it comes to Omar, Lily, I actually knew that he joined the Blood Gang. Lily, fucking marathon through Naruto. Lily, so he saw me playing on a laptop, and he said, Obito, it can still be the CERN machine. So, that's true. Lily, stop pretending I'm square. Stop thinking I don't, know about, a blood, and all that stupid shit. He was scrawny, he was stupid, that's why he fit in. But where it came down to actual criteria, he knew Norteño, Lily. And the thing that they don't want to admit is that Let It Come to You is actually complete, and you're playing around with two formulas, you're mixing outfits and shit like that. There was even a moment, Lily, Mr. Pledger unbuttoned my thing, so I want to get girls, but it doesn't matter. That's why I come at you like everything's the same thing. You see how he didn't imply, Lily, with your outfit, you see he did compliment your outfit once, how he went straight to your furrow lobe, even though he was a whole fucking victim. The reason why he does that is because of how he had to deal with his mom. Are you gonna deal with somebody being insane, saying that wasn't 1001, Lily, when you're trying to, deal with your mother? That fucked me up in the hood, Lily. Eris did not get one, but he saw Omar get 1,000. They don't want to admit that. They actually know science. This guy's willing to be complete. This is an area. This other guy is willing to have charisma, and he's willing, to ignore his charisma and recover something bigger. Literally, it's fucking ferocious. Literally, they cover everything, including a street statement. I think it's more embarrassing, Lily, that somebody called you on the phone, you give up on life, or you drop out of college, Lily, or maybe even in the pen, which is Andre dad, saying that, yo, it's not gonna be a little goose, hunting a duck forever. You don't get aware of anything gangster when that happens. While double apply the gang, everything in gang knows, Lily, there it goes. Lily, they know that Let It Come to You comes from the government, not the actual person. And where it got down to it, he had to talk to me, Lily, about the moment, the flats I had with Emily saying, yo, I'm tired, I'm gonna flat out say it. Stop trying to be gangster, Lily. Stop showing off your personal things, this, and that, Lily. And then he flat out said, With a repeat saying, you tried too hard to fit in, which leads to people making fun of you, which leads to people bashing you, which leads to you literally copying people and imitating people's style. Literally, just give it up already, there's only 2 weeks left. Stupid buttheads of foundation like Bree, the ugly one, literally say, you shouldn't stay in school at all. But anyway, that's it for this video.